Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, listeners. It's me, Suleiman Ben Sware, coming back on Facebook Live on the Open Gambia platform. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know. Saul Kamara, thank you. Yeah, I've been very busy. So let me know if you can hear me loud and clear whilst I try and share this video. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Just a minute. Let me share this video. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of July, 2023. The time is just about 21 minutes to 4 in the afternoon in Birmingham, England. Um, this should be an extensive program, but unfortunately, I don't have that time. I'll try and keep it brief. And get the entire details covered. Um, Again, we're coming back on to discuss the issue of Baitulai's arrest. Baitulai, who is Omar Sane. And for the viewers or people who might listen to this and would not know who Omar Sane is a former Gambian soldier, supporter of the APRC, who exiled himself to Senegal or absconded from the courts, bail to Casamas and residence in Casamas, and where he does his WhatsApp audios. On those WhatsApp audios landed him into trouble. That's Omar Sane, but he's called Baitulai. He's commonly known as Baitulai, and the program today we are going to look at the arrest of Baitulai and the implications that evidence have emerged that Senegalese government is trying to use insecurity as a strategy, as a political strategy. And this is why when this thing started, we came out and sounded alarm. And why? Because from our experience and expertise, we have seen the telltale signs. We knew and we heard what the Senegalese government was trying, the administration was trying, and this is very serious. And we'll discuss this and explain the background of Baitulai's arrest. But more so, it's not, let me put a disclaimer. What Baitulai does is not something I support. What Baitulai does is not something I support. I have listened to few audios which out of interest and people pointed out for me to listen to because I speak in public and it's of interest, but it's difficult to listen to 3 minutes of Baitulai's audio because of the insults and the tribal bigotry in it. The program is not about Baitulai and what he does, which we all are against. No. This is about national security. Baitulai, for any crime he might have committed, justice should prevail, especially to the Gambian people. Any crime he might commit, justice should prevail. But Baitulai should not be used as an instrument by the Senegalese dictatorship, which is now a dictatorship, in order to fund insecurity in the Senegambia region, which might even get to the other further down into West Africa. We should not watch and allow this. There is enough evidence to see the escalation. That's why I took an interest when it came out and spoke against it. And we are going to get the facts from what I'm going to deliver here. Because at times when people say, oh, wait, I said, no. There's a reason we come out and preempt. Is to avoid, but again, to put it on public notice. When we come back and talk about it, the public would understand. We win their confidence, understand, oh, yes, Ben Sware have spoke about this a few days ago and this is happening. Now, if Ben Sware comes again to give information, people would, listen properly and know where it's coming from. As we said, this is an escalation. This is an escalation. The timing is very important. The timing is very important. Whether Baitulai is committing an offense or not, which is important. But why now? What Baitulai have been saying, he's been saying it for almost 6 years, since 2017 or something like that. Why the interest now? And another important point we need to note is the escalation on what the Senegalese government is doing. We have witnessed, and this is not about interference in Senegalese politics. This is about our politics. This is about our security. This is about our sovereignty. This is about our future as Gambians and as Senegambians. We have seen the instrument that the dictatorship in Senegal, where Macky Sall have completely used the judiciary to do whatever he wants. And it's been exposed that justice is not being served in Senegal when you belong to the opposition, or especially when you belong to the positive political party and support Usman Sonko and Usman Sonko himself. It's proven. We are not here to debate that. But it needs to be pointed out to put a case onto where we're going to lead this. We have seen the amount of violence and brutality that the Senegalese government have have done to their own people. We have seen junglers. We call them junglers in the Gambia. That's Malaysia. They call them Navy. We have seen enough evidence to take Senegalese citizens, arm them, and go after Senegalese youths and kill them in the streets, just like what would have happened in South Africa. Exactly. Senegal, a country that we have used as an example of progress, of democracy, have been reduced to today, a case been raised in international courts, and with merit. If anyone follows, would see the amount of listed allegations, which we have witnessed most of it on our screens, from what's been done to politicians, the arrest of politicians, arrest of civil society movement, the attempted murder on unionists, and the list goes on. The use of militia to kill Senegalese, the disappearance of security officers, and the worst atrocities been found, to the level of Yaya Jammeh, or even what developed in Senegal now is even further down, more than Yaya Jammeh. Today, Senegalese citizens and their supporters having the audacity to go to the international courts because of they have a merit to complain. All that failed until today. The Senegalese authorities cannot win the narrative, the injustice, the brutality, the bribery, and everything else. They are spending millions on so-called social media influencers going around fanning flames to the extent of on Senegalese platforms. We heard Senegalese journalists, Senegalese dignitaries, what might be called a dignitary actually, coming out to say that let 90% of Senegalese be killed for 10% to survive. And no condemnation from the government because it was censored. It's not one person that said that. It's many people that said that. We have seen that evidence. We had that evidence. The opinions that are contrary to government opinion have been silenced. Radio stations have been closed. TV stations have been closed. Journalists have been picked up. Still, the government could not control a narrative because it's false. Now, let's think about this. Why should Gambia bother? If Macky Sall government, and again, let me make this clear, this is about a regime. It's no more a government. You call it a regime. The Macky Sall administration even have been condemned by the international communities. From the UNICEF for child abuse, we have seen that. Children been used as human shields. The other organizations, United Nations, the EU and others have come out to condemn Macky Sall's government. But these are international organizations and so on. What's the position of Gambia? Do we really think about the implications of Macky Sall behaving this way? Because whatever happens in Senegal influences what will happen in Gambia, especially in governance. Because we have seen that the Senegalese administration of Macky Sall, I am emphasizing the word Macky Sall and his regime. I am not against Senegal as a nation, Senegalese as people. Let's make that clear. This is not about Senegalese as people. This is not Senegal as a nation. In fact, it's the love of the people and the nation and the interest of supreme interest of our people in the Gambia and the sub-region that we are advocating here. This is not about Usman Sonko. Yes, it's about his rights, democracy and everything else, but it's for an interest. I want to emphasize this and be noted. This is for our interest. I am not a social media influencer that get paid. I don't work on individual agendas. I don't work on group agendas. I try and always make sure I do my best. And whatever I work on, whatever I deliver on, and what inspired me always is it to the national interest? Is it about humanity? That's where I try to excel. Now, the insecurity strategy that Macky Sall is employing on Senegalese people, on the Senegalese government, Senegalese national interest, for his interest and the 10% that they want to protect. Senegalese are hurting, and Gambia is going to hurt. For the 10% they want to protect. Without going further into the politics of it, but that's important to note. The only reason for this is one thing. Macky Sall wanting to stay in power. Completely dismantling the democracy of Senegal. Wanting to run for a third term. And let nobody with their senses, I don't even entertain them, debate whether it's legal or not, or he have the right or not. I am not. If as a human being, anybody can be stupid enough to know it's wrong. If anybody can be morally bankrupt, to know it's morally outrageous wrong, I don't have time for you. And we should not have time for those people because they know that deliberately they are lying to themselves or they are completely ignorant. It's only two. Only two. But it's the backbone of this. And the second part is to stop someone or a party, which is Usman Sonko, and the passive. He's not afraid of other people winning an election, or he knew that those people cannot win an election on him because they are all of the same. They are all of the same. Be it, Khalifa Saleh of Senegal, be it of Karim Wade, be it of Bogan, and all the others are all of the same system. He is afraid of what is coming, which should be welcomed by Africans. The change we've been talking about. The system change we've been talking about. It's been ushered in by a young, charismatic leader. And he will be held accountable when he gets there. We are not supporting Sonko because of his Sonko. We are not supporting Sonko for any other thing, for what he advocates and what his party advocates. That's what we support, for democracy to prevail and social justice. And if he gets in there, that's where Senegalese will hold him to account. And if any behavior which, to affect our interests, we are going to come out and say so. That's the other thing he's afraid of, to stop Sonko. Now, what does this have to do to create insecurity? If Macky Sall came out today, I am not going to run for a third time. Macky Sall come today, so because Sonko legally, morally, and everything have the right to run for elections, and let him run for elections, I'll tell you, you will not. Technically that's the diffusion and everything else. But instead, no, it's an escalation. Escalation. What's the escalation now? This is the most outrageous. And I am saying here again, I'm not to sound arrogant or anything, but it needs to be emphasized. I am talking on a topic that I can raise my hands, regardless of what rank, what abbreviations before any Gambian name. If it comes to insurgency and counter-insurgency, I raise my hands. I have the competency to talk about this. If it comes to strategies in insurgency, counter-strategies in insurgency, anything else, I have authority on that. And it's not arrogance. We have viewed, read, discoursed all forms of insurgency that have taken place for many years. Be it in Singapore, be in Malay, Singapore, be it in the 50s, 60s, how to call it again, Oman, be it in many other places, up to the recent in South America, El Salvador, and Colombia, and every other insurgency we have looked at. We understood what insurgencies are. We understood what counter-insurgency means. Winning the hearts, underpins it, is winning the hearts and minds of the people to lead the narrative. It's about intelligence. It's about deception. It's about communication. The use of force comes last. If every other thing is followed, the insurgency would be taken off completely. But to make sure insurgents are empowered, or to foster insurgency, is the contrary. Again, to win the hearts and minds of the people. And it's about intelligence again, and every other thing. Now, what is happening in Senegal? We have seen hard measures that the Senegalese authorities have taken against Casamance as a region. Air travel, sea travel, road transport, technically a curfew of most of the region of Ziguinchor and others. The most affected places during the height of the rebellion or the insurgency. The instruction that people should not be sold cutlasses, knives, as if. Now Macky Sall is using what? Insecurity in order to bring a sense of instability. And in that way, Senegalese will be fighting among themselves while he positioned himself. But thinking that and believing that that would destabilize Ousmane Sonko support base. And to get other Senegalese to go against Ousmane Sonko and Pastef. What? You just imagine a government funding insecurity for the so-called 10% of people that want to govern, continue to govern. to continue a system that will continue to serve their selfish interests and their imperialist masters, regardless of what it does to Senegal. The insurgency Senegal technically died off. If anyone come out to say that, oh, they don't know, it's criminality in there. Insurgency have to go with a political philosophy, a political leadership. There's no political philosophy of leadership right now in Casamance for an insurgency. That have been diffused, that have been dismantled. Many efforts. And sad enough, Macky Sall was part of that lasting efforts to dismantle. And it was not due to what the strong arms of government, but it's the political will of government into negotiations, into project implementations, and so on and so forth. But what put the nail in the coffin was the emergence of Ousmane Sonko, that took out any order and changed the narrative completely that a son of Casamance would be accepted because of the origin or the background of this insurgency or the basis or whatever it was about marginalization. Now, if a son of Casamance can stand and be accepted as a potential leader of Senegal exclusively, and a charismatic one for that matter, that have a rallying point, the youths and others, this franchise and others that would have joined the insurgency or supported the philosophy of the insurgency or political ideas of the insurgency, decamped and moved to support Pastef. They would not. But today, now what Macky Sall is trying to do is to fan. We are not going to talk about the economics of it, but we are talking about the rights and human rights and the potential of violence, civil war that Macky Sall is trying to fan here. Why isolate people like that? Oh, I mean, we have seen what erupted in Senegal. It was not only in Casamance. In fact, it was worse in Dakar. Why those measures are not put in Dakar? Why Dakar is not in complete lockdown? Why those measures to say that we have seen the violence, that the weapons were from where the government supplied. We have seen the evidence that in October, when government imported weapons and did not import it in the right channels. We have seen the control of this militia by the Macky Sall's son, by Macky Sall's brother-in-law, by Macky Sall political strategists and others. The evidence are out there, and the evidence are before the courts now in at the Hague. Why pick on Casamance? Why to try to make people to believe that Pastef or the political support of this thing have anything to do with MFDC or a rebellion? That's a lie. MFDC is just a criminal entity right now. They have no political, they have no grounds, they haven't hold anything. In the days where they have philosophy, whatever it is, you agree or not, political ideas, everything, that's nothing. But Macky Sall now wants Senegal to believe it. Macky Sall now is putting this up to try and fan Casamance to start again. And then Senegalese would start to say, oh, we want peace. And they will not look at the person behind it, engineering it, but will try to blame. He's trying to build a narrative. That's why they are paying millions to social influencers to go out there to tell lies to fund this. To fund this. Now just go and look at, go and watch Senegalese TikTok. Go and look at this thing now. And you know, and you go to France, wherever Macky Sall go, you see the rented crowd and all those nonsense. The evidence is last election, parliamentary elections, how many seats did Pastef win? You think if Ousmane Sonko have visited Europe, what will gonna erupt? No, he's a dictator now. Macky Sall will do anything. This is where the position is. Now, this is what leading us to Baitulai. Because Baitulai is part of a proxy. Baitulai is part of a destruction. Baitulai is part of to drag Gambia into it. Baitulai is trying to drag Yaya Jammeh into it. I have never worked for Yaya Jammeh. I have never worked for Yaya Jammeh's interest. I have fought against Yaya Jammeh. I have done everything against Yaya Jammeh. I am not here to defend Yaya. I never defend Yaya Jammeh. Justice be prevail on Yaya Jammeh. But not to use Yaya Jammeh wrongly to destabilize Senegal. Whether Yaya Jammeh have intentions or not, that's a security issue. Should be looked at separately, but not to sell false information in order to destabilize. The threat that Yaya Jammeh posed on Gambia, that's something that we need to review, that Gambia government need to take hold of. But today, Gambia government don't even have the capacity to look into anything. Because of what? The insecurity, because still now they're happy. Because of the government, Senegalese Macky Sall administration is happy with what we have in the Gambia. Now the sense of insecurity will continue in the Gambia. Hence the sense of insecurity continue in Gambia. Senegal continue to have influence on Gambia, and Gambia continue to lose its strategic interest. And down the line, Gambia just become another region of Senegal. This is their strategy. This is Macky Sall's strategy. And if that be our oil resources, every other resources we have would be for the 10% they're trying to create. You see, today I'm not going to talk about Barrow, and if any Gambian cannot see what's happening in the Gambia, oh, Barrow is running for third term. I'll tell you, if Barrow runs for third term, I mean, the percentage of that is something, but we'll talk about that somewhere. But they are creating this 10%. Then the French and others will continue, and Gambians will continue to be enslaved. And Senegalese will continue to be enslaved. Our children will be continued to take the back way and to die and to be maltreated. Women will continue to die in hospitals and everything else. And the 10% will continue to build generational wealth and control over us. This is what they're working on. Now, let's just move it on to now, to the Baitulai arrest. You can see again, remember when when Baitulai was arrested, I came out and made a program. And I sounded the alarm. If you bear me a minute, I sounded the alarm that this is what they're trying to do. People that followed would know. I said this is nothing but trying to use just a minute. Thank you. This is what they're trying to do. And I am going to go to an article I wrote and explain the article and something that they started to bring, that start coming out from Senegalese intelligence, which they use their, you see, the 99% of Senegalese press are just biased to government. Just like in the Gambia, it's just about money. It's just about money. Most of his TFMs and all these things you see, you think that it's nothing. It's all part of the system. It's all part of the system. Now, the arrest of Baitulai, in a nutshell, when I said it, it's not much. If any threat, Baitulai posed threat to Gambia, then Senegal. Baitulai would say anything. Baitulai technically is a buffoon. He would boast, he would do things. And sad enough, I even hear people who really believed everything that he says or do. People believe that some of his supporters believe that he is entrenched with the rebels. He's got bodyguards. He's got this. The guy is living a very sorry life, and this is not diminishing. Trying to diminish his importance in life or anything. The guy lives on people. Supporting him from the bigotry he sells. The guy have no influence or nothing apart from the influence of tribalism and insult. He cannot advance, he cannot make anybody to support anything. But it's that people he shared the same mindset with would be, his audience. What have he impacted? If he had influence, if he was that the thing, since Jammeh was taken out, what have he impacted? You see, but they try to sell this narrative, and now Senegal is trying to use that narrative and to move it on. But you would, after almost a week of Baitulai's arrest, there's a network. There's a network of intelligence. I just call it this. There's a network Senegal intelligence. No, there's a network of intelligence officers, active and retired. That's the nature of this job, active and retired. Colleagues, people that you work before, people who come away from this thing, being referred to you to give you information or to ask you to help to verify, and so on and so on. When something happens within the area of interest, they will approach you. Recently, some people, private intelligence networks, reach out to me because they have interest in Sierra Leone. They're doing a risk assessment for organizations in Sierra Leone for the elections. Reach out to me, to help, give what I think, or to help them verify certain things. That's the way nature it works. When the Baitulai arrest happened and other things, the same thing happened. I made a program, and some of this network got interested when I did the program about Baitulai's arrest and started to share information. And that information, what I did was deliberate. I obviously I hold back a lot because some of them are in active service. They don't want to be, compromised because certain information comes out raw. It obviously can easily be traced to the source, and so on and so forth. What I did was to take the facts and just place it as an article from one to number 1 to number 11. I did not do any analysis of it. I left it for the public because look, to use their common sense and look at the facts. Nobody can challenge these facts. These are facts. I know they're facts. I left it. But for anyone with a little bit of common sense, reading that can read behind, along the lines to see what's prevailing here. The only bit I've put there's a 1 or 2 steps I put, which was an opinion. And this why I put that opinion, it's verified because, that's why when I put the opinion, it was not my opinion, in fact. This was an opinion of active intelligence officers. So now look, hence they have not found any material valuable to link Baitulai to Usman Sonko and Yaya Jammeh. They are now likely to bribe Baitulai to confess. They told me, hence, Baitulai was not maltreated, Baitulai was not tortured, Baitulai was even taken care of. And after Baitulai family members were invited, they are suspicious of that Senegal is trying to induce Baitulai to come and confess. This was the, not so, but let me go through the article. I have to try and keep this brief. The article was shared on Open Gambia, published on Open Gambia platform anyway. I say share a few facts on the arrest of APRC supporter Omar SANNEH Baitulai. A friend from the intelligence community shared a few facts about the circumstances surrounding the arrest of Omar SANNEH alias Baitulai. After listening to my program, collaborating my views that Omar SANNEH is neither a rebel nor is he in a position to strategically influence and coordinate any operations between Jammeh and MFDC rebels and the opposition leader Usman Sonko as alleged. This was the opening. One, I said number one, Omar SANNEH is a resident of Bakessi, a tiny hamlet in Casamance, about 5 kilometers from Shom village in the Gambia. Barakessi, some say Barakessi, Barkessi. Barakessi is a small hamlet, about 300 people, families, not people. This is not like a cosmopolitan or anything. These are families of network. Few families from the hamlet. That's where he go and that's where he's resided. And this is just 5 kilometers from Shom, Gambia. You walk down 5 kilometers. Barakessi is so close to Gambia territory that residents can access the official GSM network. Barakessi is also accessible by road from Block, a Gambian village near the border. But Block has a Gambian military camp used as a base by the Gambian soldiers to patrol the border area. This is how close Baitulai is living in the Gambia. Technically, he is living in the Gambia. There's a GSM network. I think even they said official, but I even believe QSA network as well. It's so close. It's just an extension of those villages, and all these villages are they are the same people. They intermarried and everything. He was not living in a bush. He was not living in the forest. He was not living with rebels. He was living with a family. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Even all the hardcore. If you listen to Baitulai's audio, as an intelligence officer, you pick a lot. Most of the time in the background, you pick a lot. You can tell a lot without even knowing the place. Just listen to the sound that comes through the background. You pick a lot. But this is just that. Again, there is also a police intervention unit based in Som that patrol the area operating vehicle checkpoints. This is just telling you, side of the Gambia to Baitulai, there's no person, there's no Gambian that goes to Baitulai that is not known. Many Gambians go through there, go to Baitulai, sympathizers, family members, APRC supporters. They take condiments to him. And Baitulai visits Gambia all the time, according to the intelligence. Baitulai is known by many security operatives that he witnessing. They don't see him as a harm. Apparently he even attended a naming ceremony in Som. That's how openly he lives. Let's move on. Kabakel is a village in Casamance, a few kilometers away from Barakessi, the village Baitulai was living in up to the time of his arrest. There is a Senegalese military camp in Kabakel, and soldiers from the garrison patrol the entire area around the border. What we call a forward operational base, Senegalese forward operational base, is in Kabakel. That is to look towards the Gambian border. You see, we are not talking about only the economic within Gambia. There's an operational base in Kabakel, which looks after all those villages along the border. A Senegalese military base. They patrol and everything. You think if you are a rebel or anything, would you or these operatives you going to live within those midst? To do what? Let's move on. Number 4. The Gambian and Senegalese military are constantly monitoring Kabakel, Barakessi, and the surrounding villages for suspicious activity. By the way, the nearest rebel activity are reported around Jakai, about 20 kilometers from the Barakessi Kabakel area. The nearest reported activity of rebels is 20 kilometers away from where Baitulai lives. 20 kilometers. If you understand rural communities, 20 kilometers is a far far away place. Now, the Senegalese military monitor activities around Kabakel and Barakesi and Kabakel using drones. That is why there are often drone attacks on anyone suspected of engaging in what they perceive as a crime or subversive activity. There, according to the intelligence, there are drones flying all over the place all the time. And in most cases, they attacked innocent people that are going to look for firewood. Probably see 3 people, 4 people walking in a way which suggests they are what we call in the military as selecting a line of advance, something like that. They see those sort of movements from the drone. They are lazy, they don't want to listen, or they don't care. Bam, they shoot at them. They don't only monitor, but they even attack with drones. We have had these incidents before, and what that does is it exclusive operational area, a buffer zone that many people will not go certain areas. I mean, to women or even people will not go there because they are scared of the risk of getting to an area that these drones, they pick them up and kill them. Again, look at that kind of environment. Let's move on again. This is just to expose what they're trying to say. Oh, this guy is a hardcore, this guy is this. He is living in a very sanitized area. Again, there is a considerable number of Senegalese and Gambian intelligence operative and assets in all these border villages who are actively seeking information on or leading to any criminal or subversive activity. All these villages, that's how intelligence works. Anyway, all those satellite villages and everything, you'll have assets, people that inform you. You have operatives that control. There are people, network of operators that control these areas, that have assets, there are informers and everything else. Constantly. You think Baitulai living there, not hiding, not anything, ranting, people coming in and out, visit him and everything. Just to expose what they're trying to make people to believe. This Baitulai is mighty. Yeah, he promotes himself as a mighty. His supporters promote him as a mighty. I had someone saying that, oh, they came with helicopters, they came with a plane, they came with this stuff. I said, when the guy was just escorted away. Let's move on. When Omar SANNEH was arrested by the Senegalese soldiers, his house was searched, but the soldiers found no weapon or any material of value to intelligence. They found a mobile phone in his possession. And apparently the mobile phone does not even have storage capacity. That tell you if this guy was an operative. I mean, they cannot even provide him with a sophisticated equipment to listen to listening device, storage, and everything else. No weapon. I have had some so-called Senegalese social media influencers saying that, oh, he was arrested with weapons, he was arrested with this. Someone even lied that he was arrested in Kaula with 20 people, 20 rebels. Yes. So-called this is how they do. Lying. Nothing was found on him. Nothing of value. Nothing of intelligence value. A phone. Yes, of intelligence value, but what? Let's go. Since Omar SANNEH's arrest on Friday, the 9th of June, he has been cooperating with the Senegalese authorities in their investigation. At the time of sharing this information, he has not been maltreated or tortured. Until last information I shared, he was not maltreated or tortured. He was free, he was talking, he was cooperating. No material. We'll get to that. The Senegalese investigators have not found any evidence on Omar SANNEH Baitulai supporting their conspiracy theory. The mobile phone found on him mainly contained information about his activity with Gambians. Yes, he have activity with Gambians. I heard about Gambian officers who are now cutting off their SIM cards, throwing it, trying to delete all messages on their phone. I heard about this from intelligence. This is something I did not share in the post. As I said in the post, I just put the facts. Yeah, he have contacts in different diaspora and everything else. Most of them APRC sympathizers. But man, he whatever other people he talked to in the army, in the police, in whatever it is, where he gets in information or whatever he does with it, that is for Gambia to investigate. But they have not seen anything suggesting anything on Senegal or this thing. Yeah, anything on Senegal he have said in the open. He have mounted, he have insulted, he have boasted about things. But on the phone, nothing to say this is secret, this is information, this is someone is calling in Dakar, this is someone is calling in Ziganso, this is nothing. The guy is technically living within Senegalese territories, Casamas, but he is, his mindset and everything is within Gambia. His entire contacts is Gambia. Nothing absolutely. This is how it was emphasized. Mariama Jayu, the second wife of Omar SANNEH, was picked up in Barakasi on Thursday, the 15th June, nearly 1 week after Omar SANNEH arrest, along with Sekou Badji. They were both escorted to Zigansor to help the investigators into Omar SANNEH's activities. The word escorted, technically, the way the intelligence shared this was not even an arrest. That's why they were suspicious. This not that after 1 week. You see, if Omar SANNEH was arrested and found anything within 2 days, 3 days, activities would have, no, after 1 week, they looked into everything, nothing. Okay, what can we do next? Let's go and get his close friends and family, the wife, and Sekou Badji, someone, a friend or whatever, a relative probably, that lives with him. Invite them, let's see what we can get from it. But again, the suspicion is probably we can use these people in intelligence. That's where you play up people's mind and get them to put SANNEH in a position that he will comply with certain things that Senegal want him to confess on. This is the thinking of the intelligence. That's the only opinion I've shared in this post. But it moved on to say, number 10, most contacts within the Senegambia intelligence community are suspicious that these Senegalese are in process of inducing Omar to implicate opposition leader Ousmane Sonko in their conspiracy. Omar has been treated well since his arrest, and neither he nor his family members have admitted to any crime or taken part in any conspiracy to destabilize Senegal. Until that time, they invited this family. Omar SANNEH did not confess to any crime. He admitted on what that he was the one who said those things on audio. That's no, I mean, it's easy to find. If you know Omar, you hear that, you know it's him. But he have not admitted then, which is interesting. That's why I shared at that time. He have not admitted then, before these people were arrested, of any crime. And again, the day I published this, because I was holding on to it, someone shared with me a statement, an audio statement from the leader of the APRC non-alliance in the Gambia, who collaborated most of what the intelligence told me. They collaborated that Omar SANNEH Baitulai is not even, the guy said exactly, Omar SANNEH is not even Ganal Controvar. He said Omar SANNEH is not in a cell. And he said that Omar SANNEH is in a better position or place than where he lives in Barakesi. He said that they were taking a lawyer. They have consulted a lawyer, but unfortunately the lawyer parent passed away that day or day before. But that lawyer was Monday he was going to appeal. That's this past Monday, he was going to appeal to the Senegalese authorities to give them time before these guys produce to court. Senegalese laws are different. They can, I think, they have things that they can hold you longer, whatever it is. They have a process which is completely different from ours. This was collaborated. You see, that's where the suspicion is. What would they make him confess to? I have had people that believe they know Baitulai. Oh, Baitulai is a courageous person. Baitulai will never betray anybody. Baitulai will never this thing. Baitulai this. Look, whether Baitulai is courageous or whatever it is. But I can tell you one thing. It's only few people out of a million, few people that you can vouch for, that if it comes to it, they will never succumb because of money, because of pain, because of anything else. I'm not saying that he's tortured. I said he's not multitude torture, but especially money and their future. Especially when they technically they're not sitting on anything. They have no skills. They have no idea. They have not no wealth. They are not born into wealth or anything. And if someone want to say they know Baitulai that much, he will not. I am not to subscribe. I'm not subscribing to that. But let's go. 10, 11. For over a week, the Senegalese have not found any evidence to indict Omar SANNEH, which might explain their silence on the case. Their social media influencers are circulating fake information. That's why I'm saying that when they came out and lied, they found weapons, they found this, they found Baitulai is a big rebel, Baitulai is this, Baitulai is this. Everything was a lie. The Senegalese did not find anything. Oh, he was talking to Usman, so they did not find anything on this phone. And in fact, the same thing again. Nothing was found on Usman Sonko devices. And that's why it's very difficult to frame Usman Sonko. By now, Senegal, the minute they arrested Usman Sonko, what they did, they did not even go to mainstream platforms, media platforms. They went to the platforms that are created by Senegalese intelligence to share personal information of Sonko, and in fact implanted stupid things that Sonko owned. When Sonko have already admitted what he have owned in what was in his possession, they put silly things part of it. Say, oh, this is it. They produced the video and everything when Sonko was arrested. That's how they operate. This time around, but there's no. If they had anything strong, Sonko would have been charged again. Nothing. Now that's why they went for Baitulai. They did not find anything on Baitulai. Gadgets. Now, that's where I'm going to come next. What came out? Let me just finish this article. If the article number 11, for over a week, the Senegalese have not found any evidence to indict Omar SANNEH, which might explain their silence on the case. Their social media influencers are circulating fake information. If the Senegalese had credible information, they would have shared it with the press and public. Let it be no surprise if after a week of arresting Omar SANNEH and inviting his family to Ziguinchor, Omar comes out to confess to a conspiracy that he was working with Jammeh and Sonko to destabilize Senegal. Gambians, note this bit, and go onto the Open Gambia platform and look at the date this was posted, because the next article I am going to read is from Senegal. Exactly what the intelligence community I dealt with foresaw. This is what have happened. It's so weak. This is what happened. That's why I'm going to read it once more. For over a week, the Senegalese have not found any evidence to indict Omar SANNEH, which might explain their silence on the case. Their social media influencers are circulating fake information. If the Senegalese had credible information, they would have shared it with the press and public. Let it be no surprise if after a week of arresting Omar SANNEH and inviting, I use the word inviting, his family to Ziguinchor, Omar comes out to confess to the conspiracy that he was working with Jammeh and Sonko to destabilize Senegal. They use, sorry, I said I. The people I spoke to agreed to even use the word invite. They said that's the nature of the wife and the Sekou Badji involvement. They are not even comfortable to use the word arrest. Now, and I finally closed the article with a note. The information shared is basic information from a trusted intelligence source. We are holding on to our views for now. That's what I said on that article, for good reasons in intelligence here. We have done the prevention by preempting and prepare ourselves. We have done the building of the foundation so that when anticipation that something is going to come out, then when it comes out, we can work with it. This was why opinions were not shared, only the facts were shared. Basic information was shared for people to make up their mind of what. Everything I've shared here can be verified. Go and look at the Google map and everything of what we shared here. And I continue to say more material information is coming from different sources within the Senegambia intelligence community. Stay tuned for further elaboration in due course as we continue to follow development on the case. This is why we are here today. Because, as I said, I don't share every information I have. Some of them we have to be very careful. Because I am not saying that there's no concern about Omar SANNEH and Gambian national security. What I'm saying here is about what they're trying to establish, their conspiracy. Now, yesterday, a friend of mine who is actively involved shared a SANNEH article, which technically published by SANNEH and co-produced or whatever with what you call it, L'Observateur. L'Observateur, SANNEH and all these entities. I can tell you the founder or the owner of SANNEH and everything, they are all part of this. L'Observateur went to the extent of lying about court proceedings, about saying that Ousmane Sonko's semen was found in the Adji Sarr's private parts, which was a lie. It was never deliberated. The doctor have to come out and debunk that again after testifying. They are doing the same thing. This is how they do. They use these platforms, mainstream platforms. They send people, their so-called social media influencers on TikTok and every other platform, make all these things. They are paid to lie. They don't even make sense. But I am reading from a Google translation of this article. The article from SANNEH website, Omar SANNEH is a former Gambian soldier. The one who is nicknamed Baitulai was arrested on June 10th in the Bignona and made available to the Colaban Zenemori research section. Sent to prosecution yesterday. He was returned by the prosecution. Something like that. It's a lie. He was not arrested in Bignona. He was not arrested in Bignona. You see, they're trying to make Senegalese to believe that this guy was within the midst. It's a lie. He was arrested technically very close to Gambia. This guy mindset and everything, activities, everything is Gambia, not Senegal. They continue. Baitulai is prosecuted for espionage, conspiracy, and other offenses against the authority of state and the integrity of the national territory. Crime tending to disturb the state, insulting the head of state, spreading false news, insulting a foreign head of state. Espionage. What they have not found any material to prove that's espionage. They have not found any material that tells you of Baitulai capacity. Baitulai does not have the capacity to do any espionage. The location Baitulai lives and activities of Baitulai and everything else cannot suggest that he's into espionage. What espionage? Who is espionaging? What sort of information would he be seeking? Or someone involved in espionage, would it be careless as Baitulai is to say things that he says. It does not make sense. But that's the disgrace we have in our midst. You see? That's the disgrace we have when the media is part of the plot. Let's move on. They continue to say, okay, the other things they said, crime tended to disturb the state, insulting the head of state of, Baitulai does that. He insults head of states. Spreading false news. Yes, Baitulai spreads for false news. Insulting a foreign head of state. Yeah, I have audios that he insults a foreign head of states. But where does that really affect? Does it really affect Senegal or Gambia? Did Baitulai have an audience in Senegal? Nil. Does he? No. Nil, absolutely. Now, it continue. Guys, I have to rust it a bit. He is accused of inflammatory audio remarks in which he affirmed in particular that the current Gambian president, Adama Barrow, was irregularly installed in power in his country with the complicity of Senegal. Some Suits President Macky Sall castigated the agreement of peace between the government and the MFDC and talk about Ousmane Sonko. Who else doesn't talk about Ousmane Sonko? In Mali, everywhere else. Ousmane Sonko is not only a Senegalese leader right now. He's a Pan-Africanist leader. That's one place. The other things that they said, many Gambians, I do share these views. I might not say it the way he does, but many Gambians share these views. Yes, if anything, let Gambia government take us to court, but nothing to do with Senegal. I share these views. Election was stolen. Senegal played a part, and things like that. I talk about Ousmane Sonko. I'm talking about Ousmane Sonko now. What he castigated President Sall is a democracy. Yeah, he lives in he went and seek refuge or whatever you call it, exiled himself to this thing. If that's an offense in Senegal, let them treat him for that. According to the Observateur, they said, according to the Observateur, incredible. I don't want to even share some of the allegations on La Observateur. They said, we provide the details of the investigation. OMAR SANNEH acknowledged the authorship of the recording. Yes, his recording, we all know. Yes, it is my voice. It's very recent. It's not even been 2 weeks. He would have confessed to the he would have confessed to the investigators. I spoke about the election in the Gambia. I said it did not happen properly and it is the fault of the Senegalese government. That's the way they put it. I'm just reading the Google translation. I'm not a French speaking person. They continue to say, Baitulai, according to the newspaper, continued his story. I also said that Ousmane Sonko was barricaded at his home in Ziguinchor before his conviction in the Sweet Potato trial and under divine protection. They cannot do anything against him. That is, I've not had that from Baitulai, but if they said he said that, I can believe that. That's things that Baitulai was saying. Oh, yeah, Jame is protected by this person protected. Nothing comes out of it. That's what they said. They cannot do anything to him. Many young people left Foni to go to Bignona, then to Ziguinchor with Ousmane Sonko. That's a lie. That's a lie. Not one person is arrested. They have arrested over 700 people. Not one is a Gambian. The same bigotry they are doing, deporting Guineans, saying that the Guinean youths took part in this. It's a lie. We have seen the Navy, what they call the Navy, the militia is sponsored by Senegalese government. It's a lie. You see, this is what I'm saying. They're trying to drag Gambians into this. And this have a potential to destabilize the Gambia. If Gambia government hear this and started to go to Foni to arrest Gambian youths, or decided people that went to Senegal decided it's a lie. 1 or 2 might go on their own accord or anything, but nothing to coordinate with. That would be. You see, this is a history of when protest, people protest or stuff like that. People have, I'll give you the history. People have traveled to Spain from England and France and other countries and went and fight the dictator in Spain. voluntary, fight the dictator in Spain. That's where the foreign legionnaires started. People have moved out to go and support the causes they want. Gambians have left Gambia and went to Guinea-Bissau and fought this thing, and it was not sanctioned by the government of the Gambia. People who might do that. But to say this, they are putting it as if it was coordinated Gambians. When there's always a violation of people in Fonyi, but we have not seen the Fonyi youths go and demonstrate. There's a constant presence of Senegalese. If they had even attacked or went and demonstrated against the Senegalese presence in these things, possible. But no, they did not. Those Fonyikas did not go to Fonyi to protect their own people, but they went to Bignona, Ziganso. It's a lie. It's a lie. You see how they're trying to manufacture this. They're trying to drag Gambia into this. If the Gambia government mistakenly involve themselves in this, it's about ethnicity. You see, Macky Sall is playing an ethnic line. He has been doing it since he came to power. He has played the ethnic line, playing the fullers against this and that. Go and look at some of these awful videos coming from Senegal. Go and look at their the timeline of Abdul Wahab Faye. Timeline of Abdul Wahab Faye. He have just shared a fuller Guinean, Senegalese from with a Guinea-Conakry background, a doctor, talking about tribe in the midst of this. It's tribalism. Now, they are trying to fuel this insecurity into us. That's why we should speak out. We should stop this. We continue. They said that this one never Zigansor with Usman Sonko. This one never went to the bush for mystical bath. It is the Marabu who came to see him at home. Now they're saying that a Marabu from Casamas or wherever it is supporting went to Usman Sonko's house in Zigansor and give him a spiritual bath. And if that's even true, the same people said Usman Sonko is a Salafi. He does not believe in the Sufi mystical things. Now, spiritual bath. Who cares? Who cares if Usman Sonko have a Marabu that give him spiritual bath? What that have to do with Gambia? What that have to do with Baitulai? This is statements. If Baitulai make a statement like that, is that a fact? Senegal, with all their intelligence in the police, in the gendarme, in the army, in the customs, in the forestry, in everything else, the concentration they have around this thing, they cannot find facts, they cannot find evidence. They have to go to someone who is technically by Gambian border in that enclosure, who just sat every morning, hello, talk about it. That's where they get their intelligence from. Seriously? And they want people to believe this. That's what I'm saying. We need to expose these lies, to tell them that Gambians, we are not fools to fall for this. And Senegalese are not fools to fall for this. But said, Macky Sall don't care. He would do anything to stay. That's why Gambians, we should worry. If he ready to do anything in the Senate with his against his people to stay in power, what he would do to us to stay in power. For Senegal to continue their presence in us. We should wake up and think about that. This continue. The former Gambian soldier added about a Marabu who, according to him, was inviting the president of PASTEF. It is Pancras, the Marabu of Yaya Jammeh. He was with him when he barricaded himself with the help of the youths. But I point out to you that for more than 10 years, he was been asking for prayers and making offerings to prepare himself. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Now saying Pancras. Pancras, I'm not sure whether that's the blind, so-called the blind Marabu of Yaya Jammeh. Look, if you go to the Senegambia region, in Mauritania and everywhere else, almost every Marabu have dealt with Yaya Jammeh. Every Marabu in Mauritania, technically, Gambia, Senegal, Casamas. Some of them, we some of the marabouts, I don't want to call their names, in Casamance and others, we have seen them with Macky Sall. We have seen them recently. Usman Sonko visited some of those. But did he visit them, I mean, for spirituality? Did he visit them for political purpose? Or that's nobody's business. But what that have to do with that Usman Sonko, it's like Usman Sonko should not have a lawyer. If he believes in the spirituality, let him believe in it. That Marabu have dealt with the idea, that's a lie, in fact. And I can, look, more so I believe that it's a lie, that what Baitulai have said is a lie. But they are trying to make this as confessions. They are selling as confessions. The Observer reported that at the end of his confession, Omar SANNEH made this mere clupter. As you say that I have no right to speak about Senegal, so I am at fault and I apologize. Guys, be careful. This is not entirely that, you see, this is what they do in intelligence. They put this out, preparing, probably they have something else that they made Omar SANNEH how to call it, to admit to. And they pull that at the back. And they bring this out to see how it's going to be received. If this was real, a genuine and factual, I'll tell you, Senegalese government would have put Omar SANNEH on camera. It's a lie. We have seen them do that. Omar SANNEH is the first one. Last round, they arrested people from Casamance saying that they are rebels and everything. Nothing came. Still now, they have not processed those people because there's no, how to call it, there's no facts in this. They have tried to bribe Jola citizens from Casamance to admit to being a rebel and supporting Usman Sonko. All pleaders, they refuse. They refuse. Now, this is what they're trying to sell. Now they're telling you, oh, they want, you see the word confession? They're trying to start to put the word confess. This is what SANNEH have produced, that they took from the Observateur. The Observateur took it from the investigators. But this is something that we said that they will be working on. My article, the other intelligence said that they might come out with these things. And this is just the beginning and this is not the end. But one thing I can tell you, that anything they want to establish cannot, because it will be ridiculous. As I point out in my article, or the article I shared, that the facts are there to be seen. Omar SANNEH does not have that leverage. Omar SANNEH does not have that connections or anything to deal with this. If honest Omar SANNEH, I don't support, I don't like, I caveat this all the time. I don't like what he does, I don't support what he does. His bigotry to everybody, not only Mandinkas, Fullers, anybody that he feels that you are this thing, he'll go after you, your mother, your tribe, your everything else. If his own people, his own elders in Fonyi that went against Yaya Jammeh, he went after them. It's not someone we support. And there might be, but until that is proven, we have to be very careful. We are not going to take Macky Sall's government narrative. We are going to look into every narrative. We have seen how far they've gone to fabricate a rape case and to cost so much of lives. But now he's in a corner. Now Gambia, as I said, I was going to keep this brief, but it's gone over an hour. This is, and we are going to come back on this. We are going to follow this. And why we're doing this is for national interest. We have to be very careful to see that the dictatorship is already in Senegal. It's proven. Now, if dictatorship in Senegal, what do you think it will going to influence our government? Dictatorship. And we are already seeing that. Adama Barrow have lost elections in everywhere else in the Congo. Now he's trying to install chiefs. Remember he said he want to install governors. Now he's installing extra chiefs and alcalos. And next minute he's going to try it. Now if Macky Sall gets away with that, Adama Barrow believes that he can get away with it. And everything else that comes with it. Our democracy will be undermined. That's one. But the immediate problem here, the risk is this ethnic line that Macky Sall is trying to play, dividing Senegal again. After all the effort his government played in part to reunify or win the battle of minds, and Usman Sonko came and progressed by being a symbol of that any Casamance citizen can be part of this great nation and to have a potential to govern this country. He does not care. Now he's trying to sanction the entire part of Ziguinchor and others. Not about the economy, but the potential of using Baitulai and others to try to undermine the security in that country. For that country to be in turmoil whilst they're going through the elections. He have arrested enough, he thinks, to disable the might of Pastef. Now he wants to go and declare himself. He have already started that declaration. A coward he is. He'll be in France saying, giving the messaging. That's how they do it. Now, when he goes to Senegal, that's what he wants to do. He have already, the same day here, okay, Halifa Sallah, Karim Wada will be eligible. Yeah, that's what he wants, to split the votes, do everything. But I am not saying that we should not be interested in Senegalese politics. But this is the time where we really should be interested, because of it's our national security being threatened. Macky Sall is doing everything to undermine it. What is happening in Senegal is a dictatorship. And that dictatorship is we are so fragile. Remember, if Senegal, after 60 years of independence, continue transition of democracy, building all those institutions, and all those institutions are now are redundant. For the Senegalese army to accept what Macky Sall is doing, for the Senegalese gendarme, Senegalese police to accept this embargo on Casamance. I tell you, the Senegalese senior officers, Senegalese officers, junior officers knew. They understand insurgency. They know that this is not good. I tell you, by all means, the government Senegal should have, even if there were evidence of activities of movement, they should, the strategy for the government should be to foster normality. Foster normality. If they are to patrol the entire route and everything to it, that's what they do in Bogota, in everywhere else insurgency been fought. Yes, in Yemen. I'm not talking about Yemen today. The insurgency, look, every doctrine of insurgency tells you is to win the hearts and minds of the people. But this is not about win. He is fueling insurgency. He wants to fuel insurgency in order to tarnish it. Because if he tried everything, Usman Sonko is locked up. Usman Sonko came out with a dossier while he was locked up. Usman Sonko lawyer, a French lawyer, strategically employed, now is at The Hague. First time. With merit. Not only go to The Hague, with merit. The international condemnations and everything else. Macky Sall is tired. He's getting old and everything within days. The evidences are there. But he will push for everything. So sorry guys, we have to go now, but we'll come back if any development on this and other developments we have. Thank you very much guys. Thank you.